Welcome back, everybody. It's another Wednesday, which means it's another new comic book day. I'm gonna leave here in a second to go get my new comic book haul. Of course, that's what we do every single week. That's the first topic in this big Wednesday video. But in this video, man, we're also doing other stuff. We're doing weekly comic book reviews for stuff that came out last week, minus like 3 things. I didn't get to read everything, but a majority of the stuff that I read last week from May 21st, new comic book day, we're doing quick reviews for you guys on those. In this video, we're also doing post-apocalyptic comic book recommendations. So if you're into Mad Max, if you're into Borderlands, the video game, if you're into Fallout, stuff like that, and you want some comic book recommendations that's kind of in that style and tone, I got a huge list of post-apocalyptic comic book recommendations for you guys. In this video, we're also talking about the League of Comic Geeks app. So a viewer asked me a little bit ago, what's that app I use to track new comic book releases and all that stuff? I use it all the time here on the channel. It's League of Comic Geeks. So we're gonna do an app walkthrough, show you guys what's going on with that. And then we have your comic comments. So 10 comments, thoughts, questions, and concerns from you guys, the audience, over the month of May that you've left on my videos. So we're gonna get into it, do 10 comments from you guys and answer those. So that's what we got. New comic book day. Last week comic books reviewed, post-apocalyptic comic book recommendations, League of Comic Geeks app walkthrough, and then 10 comments from you guys, your comic comments. So use the chapters down below. Definitely like if you like, subbed if you love. We're doing this every single week. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics. Welcome back, everybody. You know what day it is, and we're sitting outside of Casablanca Comics. That can only mean one thing. I got a big old bag of comics. Let's go over my new comic book day pickups for May 28th. This has got to be the best day of the week, guys. Look at this big old stack. A lot of great stuff that came out this week. Let's go over my picks of the week for Marvel, DC, and the Indies. For the Marvel, we're going with Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. So really excited about this. Got Charles Soule with, Steve McDivitt and Dean White. So really excited about this. Continuation of this little 3-issue little mini series featuring Daredevil. Getting back to it. It's like an old man Daredevil sort of thing with Charles Soule writing. Really excellent so far. Pick of the week for DC's got to be Absolute Martian Manhunter issue number 3, dude. Really enjoying this series so far. Dennis Camp, of course, with Javier Rodriguez. Eisner nominated, dude. Congrats to Javier Rodriguez. A real one, dude. Really love his art style. So excited about this to see where it's going. Been loving everything Absolute, but this series is definitely a standout for me. That's my DC pick. And then for the Indies, we're going with The Goddamn Tragedy. Nice little Western. I don't even know what the art looks like. Nice little Western. Ooh, I like that art style. Okay. Sort of like a little painted little art style. Really cool stuff. This is written by Chris Condon, so I'm really excited to see what Chris Condon can do. This is out of Oni Press, and this is a nice little one-shot. So if you're into Western cowboy comic books, you gotta pick this up. The Goddamn Tragedy out of Oni Press. Those are my picks of the week, guys. That's from DC, that's from the Indies, and then of course we got that Marvel pick with the Daredevil. So that's what we're doing. Pick of the week. Let me know what your picks of the week are in the comments down below. Excellent stuff, man. Really excited about the next pick too. We got Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 8. A new arc starts there. If you guys are looking to jump on Absolute Wonder Woman, now's the perfect time. Looks like we have Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, Belair. We got the band back together, the OG creative team for the first arc. Really excited about it, man. Although I really did enjoy, Matea de Luis's art style. Getting right back to it with Hayden Sherman. So moving right along from Image Comics, we got Assorted Crisis Events issue number 3. Really enjoying this series, written by Dennis Camp and Zawadzki. Dennis Camp's just killing it. Nice little anthology series. If you guys are into anthologies, pick this one up. You can start reading it. You don't need to read issue number 1 and 2. Each issue is a new story. So excited about that. A little time travel sort of anthology series there. From Image Comics again, we got You'll Do Bad Things issue number 3. Excited about this, man. Tyler Boss writing with Turtolici doing the art. Excellent stuff. Nice little slasher sort of story. This author, whenever he writes a story, it comes true. And the only thing he writes are like crime stories, right? So that stuff's starting to happen in real life. We're taking everyone down with us, man. Huge week from Image Comics. We're taking everyone down with us. Issue number 3, Matthew Rosenberg with Landini. Really enjoying this little spy thriller. I really like the main character, Annalise. Really cool protagonist there. Sci-fi, spy, goodness with that one. Same thing, dude. Image Comics keeping on. We got The Mummy, Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 3. This one's pretty good so far. I thought issue number 2 kind of dipped down a little bit, but issue number 1 is really good. Let's see if they can keep it going. Is this the last one? It seems like there's going to be one more after this. Yep, next issue. So one more after this potentially. Back over to, I don't know, this came out this week. Even though this came out this week, I still think I'd give it to Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 17. You know, continuing this awesome Jonathan Hickman written series. I didn't know this came out this week, but I still think it wouldn't be my Marvel pick of the week. I've been enjoying the series a lot, though. You guys know that. Yeah, pretty cool there. I like that cover. I was just looking at the cover. Anyways, we got Superman number 26, guys. Jeez, I got Spider-Man on the brain. Superman number 26, part of the Summer of Superman little mini initiative that they got going on. Of course, this is from Williamson with Barrows, still doing the art. Really like Barrows' stuff. Really clean look for Supes, man. So this series has been really good, really surprising there. Power Fantasy issue number 9. Image Comics keeps on killing it, dude. Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. I just love this series. I'm not sure exactly where we're going with this one. The last 2 have been the Summer of Love. Looks like we're probably going to continue the main story, so excited about that. Back over to Boom Studios. We got Minor Arcana issue number 7. Jeff Lemire written series. Way behind on this one. Gotta binge it at some point, man, but keep picking up the single issues. Justice League Unlimited issue number 7. This is part of the We Are Yesterday. This is part 5. I just read part 4 a couple hours ago. Not the biggest fan, man. I think this We Are Yesterday thing is kind of a mess. It's all over the place. I don't know, dude. We Are Yesterday part 5. Chris Condon, Green Arrow number 24. Really enjoy this Green Arrow series. I think this one is the last one of this little arc here, okay? But we got Montos and we still got Lucas. Excellent creative team. Let's see what they can do ending that first arc there. Been enjoying that creative team. Batman 160, Hush 2. Part of the Hush 2, all right? Oh, okay. And then last but not least, Blood and Thunder. My shop shorted me a little bit ago on this, so got that in. But that's what we got for New Comic Book Day, May 28th. As always, let me know what you guys got in the comments down below. Would love to know what your pick of the week is. I'm always curious what everybody's pick of the week is, but that's what I got. New Comic Book Day, May 28th. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics. Welcome everybody back to another weekly comic book reviews. I've got a big old stack here. These all came out from May 21st. May 21st, New Comic Book Day. Let's get into it, man. Starting off with I most recommend you read to what I least recommend you read. Let's start off with Absolute Flash, dude. My favorite read of the week. Really loving this interpretation of Wally West. Really loving this interpretation of Grodd too. This Grodd in this universe is like a telepathic monkey with a really tragic origin story, but he's finding some commonality with Wally here, and it seems like they're gonna go on a quest together. You know, kind of 2 outcasts, 2 loners on the run. So really exciting stuff. You know, his dad's trying to chase him, sending the rogues after him. And Wally and Grodd have to kind of evade the rogues, man. But I'm really loving this art style. Really loving these kind of soft moments with Wally and Grodd. Really getting to know each other on a deeper level. And excited to see that kind of relationship form. I think they're gonna be like best buddies, man. So excited about that. Loving this series so far. That's Mr. Terrific at the end there, but loving this action, loving this art style from Nick Robles and Andrea Lucas too. Jeff Lemire written, man. I'm just loving the Absolute Flash. So definitely recommend that. Next up, we got the Ultimates. So not like the most action-packed issue of the Ultimates by far. Ultimates number 12, Dennis Camp written here. But it's all about Tony Stark, right? He has not all the way healed, but after the events of whenever they were battling the Hulk, you know, he was kind of down for the count for a while there. And this is kind of more of a talky issue. All the different Ultimates here are kind of talking about next steps. What do we want to do? What's our goal as a team? And hey, we're kind of in over our head. We need like a new game plan. So this is more of a talky sort of issue, but some crazy revelations. It seems like this Doctor Doom has been not as truthful as he could be, but it still seems like he's got good intentions. I'm loving this team chemistry so far, but this really was like more of a talky issue, but still necessary for the entire story, right? The Ultimates number 12. It's still like huge revelations that you gotta be there for. So if you're not reading the Ultimates, you gotta read it, man. I think it's my favorite Marvel series right now, dude. More so than Ultimate Spider-Man for sure. It's pretty close, but I would give it to the Ultimates nowadays. Next up, let's talk about Bug Wars number 4. So I love Bug Wars number 4. This is probably the best issue of the series so far. We see Slade and his journey across the yard with this spider. She's from like a spider clan, like a witchy spider clan. But her and Slade are going across the yard because Slade needs answers. He needs to know about what's up with this amulet. He needs to get it off of him and he needs to get back home. He's not supposed to be in this deadly bug world, man. So this witch is supposed to help her out, but she's kind of leading him into a trap and he kind of knows it. And then, you know, battle ensues. So we're going to get Slade versus kind of the head of the spider witches in the next issue, man. But I'm really just loving this art style, really loving this world that they're building here. Jason Aaron is cooking, man. You know, you got to give him a couple issues before he can really start get going, man. So Jason Aaron, Mohamed Asrar, and Matthew Wilson with Becca Carey, of course, on the lettering. So Bug Wars, issue number 4, still a series I recommend. You jumping on for sure if you're into Game of Thrones mixed with Ant Bully. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it is, man. Next up, let's talk about one of the most anticipated number 1s in a while, Superman Unlimited. So this is kind of like an origin story. It sort of reads like an origin story for the most part, as Superman's life is flashing before his eyes. So if you haven't read Superman before, I guess you're in for an origin sort of issue here. But the conflict at hand is this asteroid is coming down to Earth. Superman's got to stop it, but the entire thing is made out of kryptonite. So that's going to be kind of challenging for Superman. Once it lands onto the Earth, we find out that a nation state has sort of capitalized on all the kryptonite and started to, you know, black market sell it to all the different criminals on Earth. So the super people are kind of in trouble if all the different criminals have kryptonite super easily. So that's going to prove to be challenging for the super family going forward, except for the fact that Superman has some crazy new powers. So interested to see what comes of this. Dan Slott writing a Superman title with Raphael Albuquerque, who just killed it, dude. Great look for Supes. Really promising start, dude. Definitely one that I recommend checking out if you're looking for a new Superman series. The Joshua Williamson one's been going for a while, but this one you can jump right on, man. So Superman Unlimited number 1, great first issue. Really think he nailed the Superman character for sure. Next up, let's talk about the New Gods number 6. Beautiful art in this one, dude, from Felipe Andrade. Really ethereal kind of stuff. As we find out what happened after Light Ray had passed, him and Death are gonna sort of, Light Ray's like, yo, Death, you gotta bring me back, man. I can't be dying right now. People need me. So he goes on this, the Death Racer goes on this like, you know, race to the source wall so that way he can revive Light Ray. That's kind of what's going on in the background. But then we see High Father and the rest of the New Gods are kind of abandoning. They're kind of hurtling towards something. They're just trying to escape the conflict, right? So, but we get this great artwork from Felipe Andrade. Great kind of ethereal, wispy sort of look that only he can bring. So that was pretty cool to see Felipe as the guest artist. Back to the main conflict, we got Superman versus Orion trying to help that kid. But obviously a ship is coming down and it's the New Gods. So the New Gods are coming to Earth. Have to see what happens after that. All the different Justice League members are helping out the New Gods. So kind of interesting to see the New Gods number 6. It's interesting to see where they're going with this series, man. I thought it seems like there's not really a big focus on the kid anymore. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, the New Gods number 6, still a series I recommend reading. Ron V writing with the Evan Kagel-ness of it on the art. Next up, let's talk about Into the Unbeing, issue number 4. I love this one, dude. A conclusion to this great sci-fi horror series. All these different people going deeper and deeper into this huge, you know, I don't even know, like this huge giant monster getting crazier and crazier as they go. But just the character design, the creature designs in this, people turning into monsters, trying to like take over each other's brains, a lot of action in this issue. And yeah, just a great conclusion to this series, dude. If you're into Alien, if you're into like just the Alien franchise, if you're into like creepy body horror, you definitely got to check out Into the Unbeing, man. It's a really great series from Zach Thompson and Hayden Sherman, the artist for Absolute Wonder Woman. So definitely check it out. Into the Unbeing. Now that it's all out, look for a trade, man. Part 1 and part 2 in a trade. Batman and Robin Year 1, issue number 7 from Chris Samney, Mark Waid writing it. Really like this issue. Really liking this Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne kind of dynamics as they're still trying to figure things out. Like down here, he's like, yo, feed off the dash, man. Feed off the dash, Batman says. But yeah, man, just loving this Mark Waid written, Chris Samney on the art. Just look at this, dude. It's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. I mean, this is like, you close your eyes, you think of Batman and Robin, and this is kind of the vibe, you know what I'm saying? So really been loving it. The mystery, like the kind of story of it all, it's like your typical like mob boss sort of story. You get Dick Grayson at school causing a ruckus, not used to the school environment. You get some great moments with Alfred too. It's a Two-Face sort of Clayface sort of story in the background, but I'm just loving this Batman and Robin series. Batman and Robin Year 1, definitely one to check out, especially if it's all out, man. Once this series is all out, pick it up in a trade. That's gonna be pretty cool. Let's talk about Out of Alcatraz, issue number 3. Loving this one, man. So issue number 1 was really good. Issue number 1 was okay. Issue number 2 really stepped it up. Issue number 3 stepped it up even more. So I'm really loving this art style, this kind of painted kind of look. I really came around on it. And it's ended up being like really, really amazing to me. So the gang here, the 3 of them, the 2 boys and the woman, they have to go, kill this woman for this guy, or else this guy's gonna turn them in and say, hey, these are the people that escaped from Alcatraz, go get them. So they're kind of in a bind. Do we kill this woman? Do we not? Do we run away, go back to Canada or something? But also in the background, unbeknownst to them, the guy who they originally thought was dead, who went overboard in the original escape from Alcatraz, he's been slowly following them, trying to figure out what's going on. So he's got this like impending kind of threat in the background. He's a psycho. He's killing people all over, stealing people's cars and stuff. So let's see where this series goes. Nice little mystery, nice little murder mystery sort of vibe with these 2 detectives sort of going after the escape from Alcatraz, the escapees. So really loving this from Oni Press. Christopher Cantwell, Tyler Crook. They're just killing it, dude. Last but not least, let's talk about Batman Superman World's Finest, number 39. This is the We Are Yesterday Part 4, man. So We Are Yesterday Part 4. This little mini arc thing, whatever they're doing, is just a mess, dude. It's all over the place. There's time travel, timey-wimey. There's characters that are in the past, the present. Just going all over the place, man. So not a huge fan of this We Are Yesterday kind of arc. If this wasn't going on, I would have already dropped Batman Superman World's Finest. Just not a series that I need to pull on my subscription, right? Just something I could probably read digitally and get the same out of it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just some crazy, Batman, Superman, and Robin are trapped in the time stream or whatever, and they're gonna have to figure that out. But 2 more left of this We Are Yesterday stuff. Not the biggest fan of it, man, but that's what we got for last week's comic books reviewed. Thank you guys for watching in. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Let me know what your pick of the week is last week. Thank you guys for watching in. Read more comics. Welcome back, everybody. So Isaac Martinez asked me if I've got any post-apocalyptic Mad Max sort of comic book recommendations, and boy howdy do I. So I got a big old stack here. These are all great post-apocalyptic comic book recommendations. Some of them you guys are gonna be a little surprised, like, whoa, that's post-apocalyptic? Just let me explain, right? So let's get into it, man. Starting off with my first recommendation, we're going with 8 Billion Genies, dude. So hear me out, guys. Post-apocalypse, right? So in this series, it's all about what would happen if every single person on Earth at one random moment in time was granted a genie. So every single one gets a genie. You get one wish. You can wish anything you want. What would you wish for, right? What would be your priorities? Would you try to protect people? Would you use your wish to kind of take things over? That's kind of the question that's asked. So all these people, the initial kind of group that we're introduced to, they're all in this bar. It's called like the Lampwick. Was it the Lampwick bar? Something like that. But they're all in the bar at the time of the genies, becoming a thing. Everybody getting a genie. So all these people in the bar are like, what the heck? What's going on? But one of the people in the bar, he uses his genie to keep his bar safe. So his bar is going to be a safe zone. And kind of the framing device for this series is the first 8 seconds. human population, genie population. So no one has used any wishes yet in the first 8 seconds, right? So then it goes on the first 8 minutes, the first 8 hours, the first 8 days, 8 months, all that sort of stuff. And as it goes on, you see the human population starts dwindling, right? Because some people use their wish to kill and all that stuff. And then the genie population dwindles as well as people start using their wish. So you don't have to use your wish. You could keep it, you could save it if you want. The first 8 minutes, right? So we see a good amount of people have died and a good amount of genies have died as well. And the earth is a cube now. Someone used their wish to make the earth a cube. So just a totally insane series written by Charles Soule with great artwork from Ryan Brown. Just excellent stuff, man. Really like the look of everything. Some people use their wish to become superheroes, right? So it's kind of about like all these people in the bar. It's kind of like how they handle it being, all these crazy wishes, like this crazy world that they now live in. Crazy explosions, a lot of superheroes, a lot of people doing crime, a lot of people using their wish to take other people's wishes, and they have like a million wishes just themselves. Like this guy here, he's a bad guy. He controls a lot of different wishes other than just his number one. So yeah, that's my first pick, 8 Billion Genies. Next up, let's talk about Daniel Warren Johnson's Extremity, dude. So this artist on the cover, she is the daughter of a clan leader, dude. And an opposing clan has gone in and killed this girl's mom, the clan leader's wife. So they go on kind of a quest to kind of avenge the mom, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna fight this other clan. And it's kind of like a story that's like, if you're going after someone for revenge, dig 2 graves sort of thing, right? Like, what's the cost of revenge? But it takes place in this post-apocalyptic world, in our world, but way in the future, after like a series of nukes and bombs and sort of thing. So now all the different humans that are alive, they live like scattered on these sky islands all around. And so all split up into different tribes. So really cool world that Daniel Warren Johnson has built here. Really cool sci-fi sort of story. Yeah, you get that really great Daniel Warren Johnson artwork too. Really animated action. You get like robots like punching giant dragons, right? So like really cool action art from Daniel Warren Johnson. It's a favorite of mine from Daniel Warren Johnson. Really like this female protagonist here, this artist. And yeah, Extremity. This is available in 2 different trade paperbacks. So I have trade number 1 here, or you can get the hardcover too. Both are pretty sick. Moving right along, dude, I got 2 other picks for you guys. I'll have to do a part 2, man. I read a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff, man. So I was no shortage for things to choose in this video. We have Cormac McCarthy's The Road. This is the graphic novel adaptation from Manuel Larsenet. And obviously, Cormac McCarthy, I don't even know the controversy, right? I just know he's a piece of shit. But Manuel Larsenet took this story that I used to love a lot from when I was a kid, and he kind of elevated it, man. This is the way to read The Road. Don't worry about reading the OG. This is like the perfect adaptation. Beautiful artwork, dude. So this is probably the most, the closest to someone looking for like a Mad Max sort of vibe, post-apocalyptic story. This would give you that for sure. It's all about this man and this boy as they're crossing the entire US to get to where they think is safe, right? They think that this coast, it must have food, it must have safety. So they're kind of going on this long journey. But all throughout, you kind of see this kid who's been growing up in this world kind of just like learn, right? And it just kind of, become closer with his dad on this journey. You see the lengths that the dad goes through to keep his kid safe. Really harrowing kind of story, but as I'm flipping through, just look at this artwork, dude. The insane detail from Manuel Larsenet is bananas, dude. A lot of great scenes that if you've read the book or seen the movie, a lot of these will kind of stick out to you and you'll remember them, but just a great adaptation, man. I really fell in love with this road. It is like the perfect way to kind of experience the story, in my opinion. So just this man and the son going on this trip, by foot all the way across the US and all the trials and tribulations that they're gonna face on the way, right? Just a really excellent post-apocalyptic series, story, and one that will stick with you for sure. The Road, man. Definitely gotta read it if you're looking for post-apocalyptic stuff, dude. That's one that, because it's not like, it's not like Image or whatever, like you might kind of pass over, but there's some great comic books that come out of not the big two and also not Image. So definitely check this out. Hardcover available. I got this at Barnes & Noble's, dude, and I love it. Last pick for post-apocalyptic story, guys. You know we're going Geiger, dude. So Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lee, of course. I have this beautiful, beautiful hardcover. Geiger is a character, someone that I love, dude. So this story kind of reminds me of Fallout New Vegas. That's kind of like the setting that it takes place in. Post-apocalyptic wasteland. Nukes have gone off. It's not a super far future. It's like a nearby future. So all the different survivors living in radiation suits as they wander across the land, right? The main character is Tariq Geiger. So he had a family back in the day before the bombs dropped. He tried to get them all in his kind of safety bunker. This other neighboring family, they say, hey, we want that bunker. Some kind of scuffling ensues. His family goes down. The bombs drop. He is affected by this bomb, kind of changed in such a way that he becomes Geiger the Glowing Man. So he thinks that his family is still alive down in the bunker. Maybe that's not the case, man. So that's kind of where our story starts. We get introduced to Tariq Geiger, who's Geiger the Glowing Man, the legendary kind of protector of the wasteland. He has these like Eskrima sticks, pulls them out, beats him with you, man. But he also goes like, he goes glowing powers. He goes nuclear at some points. So yeah, man, just a great kind of action hero. Really like this Geiger character. He has a two-headed dog named Barney. He meets all these different crazy people in the wasteland. Really crazy, zany characters like this king. He's close by to like Las Vegas, so all the different casinos have like their own kind of theme and like ruler, as you see here. So yeah, man, just a really fun kind of world. Very similar to Fallout New Vegas. So if you like that game, you'll like this this read here. And part of the unnamed universe out of Ghost Machine, out of Image Comics, man. So Geiger, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, it's a classic, dude. It's a modern day classic. I love Geiger, dude. So that's all the comic book recommendations that I have for this video. Post-apocalyptic comic recs. And shout out to, let me pull up his name again. Shout out to Isaac Martinez for the question, man. Hopefully that helps you out with some post-apocalyptic comic book recommendations. One of the questions I get all the time is, what's the best way to get into comic books, right? And I think that comic books as a hobby, it's kind of tough to jump into, not gonna lie, but there are some things that can help. And one of them we're gonna talk about today. It's called the League of Comic Geeks app. It's my most used app by far. So let's get into it, man. So a long time ago, not that long ago, a couple days ago, Hassan Reed 1637 says, what's this app called? And in this video that he commented on, I was showing the League of Comic Geeks app. We got Seanster coming in, Seanster 120. He says, Comic Geeks, awesome way to keep track of when series you're loving has a new issue coming out. So great advice from Seanster, but let's get into the app itself. This is what the homepage looks like, man. So the next tab over is like a little calendar. This is where you can see all the new releases. So, and this is also where you can make a pull list. So let's show you guys what the new releases looks like for this week, right? May 28th, you can go into all the Marvel comics. Here's everything that Marvel Comics is releasing for the week of May 28th. You can go all the way down. They got the variants, they got the hardcovers, they got the trade paperbacks, man. So everything releasing from Marvel, all in one spot. You can see it. You can go through all the different weeks. You can go way into the future if you want. You know, or you can look way in the past, man. So if you're like, hey, what came out a couple weeks ago? You can go that way. It's got all the different publishers. So like I was saying, here's the one for DC, everything they're releasing this week. And it's got all the publishers, guys. Look at them scrolling through. Some publishers you never even heard of, man. So League of Comic Geeks has everything that's releasing in the comic book world every single week. Really nice and organized. Another thing I like too is you can jump into the issue itself. You can read the solicitations, see if that's an issue you might want to pull. You can go to the creators too. You can go, you know, explore what a creator has written. You can look through all their different titles. You can see a timeline view of that creator, what they've got coming out, what they've released recently. If it decides to load, well, I don't know. That sucked. Okay, finally loaded. So yeah, so you know, in July, Dennis Camp's got the Ultimates 14 coming out, Absolute Martian Manhunter #5 coming out. Assorted Christ Defense number 5 coming out. So it just goes like that, man. So that's what you can do. The League of Comic Geeks, like each single issue, you can also view the variants that are coming out for each one, man. So you can note them down. Hey, this is the variant that I want from my comic book shop. Wow, that's a really cool variant there. 1 in 50. So yeah, that's what the League of Comic Geeks app allows you to do. You can also add things to your pull list. Down here you see where it says unsubscribe. You can subscribe to a series, unsubscribe to a series. You can also make community lists. So I use this as a guy who makes comic book videos. I have to make lists on here all the time. Like, you know, coming up soon, I got a video coming up that's like my July number 1. So I have all those in a list. So very cool stuff. League of Comic Geeks, that's what I mostly use it for, is tracking my pull list and looking at what's coming out recently or, you know, upcoming. You can also add things to your collection. So everything that I've read, I try to note down inside the app just to catalog it, right? So once this loads, I can show you guys my activity section. And every single new comic book day, once I finish a single issue, like for example, you know, you finish Absolute Flash number 3, I wrote down what I gave it as a rating. So I gave Absolute Flash number 3, gave it a 4.5 star, 4.5 out of 5 stars. So you're allowed to rate things as well. You can see some cool stats, right? Like it looks like I have DC Comics is my most read publisher by far. That's pretty cool, stuff like that. So you can view your collection, mark things as, yo, I have it, I want it, stuff like that. But down here too, upcoming, right? You can see FOC calendar. So hey, I gotta order these today or else my shop might not have one for me. So you can look at the FOC calendar, final order cutoffs. You can look at things that have been recently announced. So they keep track of all the different publishers when they announce something. Like a lot of different IDW stuff was announced recently, some Boom Studios stuff, Marvel Comics down here as well. And then you can look at some of the upcoming number 1s. This is what I use to make my videos all the time. I look through the upcoming number 1s. This view is pretty helpful as well, allowing you to see what every single publisher has coming up. That's a number 1, a brand new series. So that's kind of the overview of the League of Comic Geeks app. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really helpful that I use the app for. League of Comic Geeks, one of the most useful apps that I have. I use it all the time. If I wasn't making comic book videos, I'd probably still use this app. Maybe not daily, you know what I'm saying? But I'd use this app all the time. Mostly for the fact that I just use it to catalog what I've been reading and give everything like ratings and stuff like that. So that's what we got. League of Comic Geeks. Make sure you guys check it out if you're looking to get a little bit more organized with your comic book hobby, man. So that's what we got. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics. It's the end of the month, which can only mean one thing. It is time to answer your guys' comments. So we have 10 of them here. It's your comic comments. 10 thoughts, questions, concerns that you guys have, you guys, the audience, from videos that you've left in the month of May. I do this every single month. So if you got any questions, leave them down below and we'll get to them next month. What the heck's the next month? June. We'll get to them in June, man. But let's start off with this first comment. It's a hate comment, dude. I love it. I don't get very many hate comments, so let's get into it, dude. FlexMet. Whoa, cool guy named FlexMet. He says, drop a bunch of books on the ground and make a video. Maybe pop open some of the books for a look inside would be more interesting rather than hearing you prat on about what you think is cool. So this guy commented, FlexMet, cool name, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Really cool guy here. He says, he comments this right on my video where I did my comic room cleanups. If you guys caught that video, I just had a bunch of piles all around my room that I needed to put away onto the shelves. I kind of use that as an opportunity to do like a comic book room tour, man. So FlexMet, you're kind of an idiot, buddy. Hate to say it. With the name like FlexMet, who could have guessed you're an idiot? So essentially he's like yelling at me, yo, you didn't open up any of the books when you're showing. I'm not gonna open up 40 books, dude. I have to get them on my shelf. The point of the video is to get them on the shelf. A video where I go over like the art of a book, that's usually for like reviews, right? Overviews. Hey, this is what I'm reading this month. Let's check out some of the art. So there's opportunities to look at the art, buddy, but that's not one of them. This one was just a room tour, dude. So if you don't like the way I make videos, you're welcome to make your own, buddy. So yeah, thanks for the comment, FlexMet. Really look forward to hearing from you in the future, dude. I love it. Next comment, we've got Super H Secrets. He says, wow, great selection of books. Collecting comics is hard work. So absolutely, collecting comics is like a whole other job, dude. So compared to other hobbies, I'm trying to think, right? You know, like you collect cards and stuff like that. You got to protect the cards. You buy like the little protectors and all that stuff. But I feel like comics is like a whole other thing, right? They take up more room. Okay, they can either take up a giant shelf or they take up long boxes. They can be pretty pricey, you know? But then there's like that whole other thing of keeping them organized. You got to read the thing, right? If you buy the card, you got the card. You don't have to do anything else, right? You play games with the card or whatever. But when you buy a book, when you buy a comic book, you got to read them. So that's like extra work too. But that's why we do it, man. We love it. So collecting comics is a lot of hard work, but it's awesome, dude. It's awesome work. So thanks for the comment, Super H Secrets. Danny Lely says, how'd you like the one hand and 6 fingers, dude? So the one hand, 6 fingers, let me grab it from the shelf. If I can find it. If it takes like 2 seconds to find it, I'll grab it. If not, here we go. So you're talking about the one hand, the 6 fingers. So this is obviously the collaboration series between Ram V, Dan Waters writing it. A ton of great artists collaborating as well. But this story is really great because it's a serial killer story where you get the view from the detective, and then you get the perspective from the serial killer itself. So kind of like this cat and mouse chasing game. If you like that movie Catch Me If You Can, is that what it's called? Catch Me If You Can? You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, love that movie. Kind of like that vibe, right? But kind of like in a futuristic Blade Runner sort of setting. I really like the one hand, 6 fingers, so definitely recommend picking it up. If you haven't yet, it's all released in this one trade. And you get that both conflicting art styles, you get that back and forth cat and mouse kind of game. Really cool stuff. So that's the one hand, 6 fingers. Moving right along. X Bifkin says, do you read all the comics you buy? And do you really have excitement / urge to read them every week? Like you can't wait to read them? So right now I'm in a good place with my pull list. I got to go over it. Maybe like there's some series that have ended, maybe add some that I want to add to my pull, but my pull list is in a really great spot right now. Every single thing I buy every week that I show you guys in a video is something that I'm interested in reading, right? You could argue that maybe some of the DC series, like if I wasn't making videos, I probably wouldn't have kept up to date with the Batman Superman World's Finest series, stuff like that. Like there's some series that I necessarily don't feel the need to pull, but I still want to read them if they were on DC Universe Infinite, right? So, but for all the indie stuff, dude, indie's on fire, man. I'm looking for great stories and indie's where it's at. So all the indie stuff I have the urge to read for sure. You could argue some of the DC, you know, maybe I'm not as excited to read them week to week, like Batman Hush 2, for example, right? Like I'm not looking forward to reading Batman Hush 2, but I'm reading it for the channel. I plan to make a Hush 2 sort of video at the end of it. But Johnny Retro 64 says, how are the Universal Monster comics? So you're talking about Universal Monsters at a Skybound Image. We've got Dracula, we've got Creature from the Black Lagoon, and we've got The Mummy. Yeah, The Mummy, that's out right now. And then we also had Frankenstein too, the Michael Walsh one. So out of those 4, dude, I think they've knocked them all out of the park. They're all really great. None of them were longer than 4 issues, man. So if you wanted to just do a nice, quick horror monster kind of reads, I think these are perfect. And I'm really glad that they brought it back. I think it's a really cool initiative, cool idea that they got. And then Invisible Man's coming up soon. So James Tynion IV with Danny on the art. So really cool stuff with Invisible Man coming up soon. So that's what we got. Thanks for the comment, Johnny Retro 64. Next up, we got Reed Mauser 1081. He says, as a teenager who can't drop a bag on comics every week, your videos help me narrow down which ones to pick up. Love your stuff. So thank you so much for commenting, Reed Mauser. He's saying that, since I'm a teenager, can't drop a bag. That's tough, dude. I would recommend definitely make sure you get your library card, man. So you can read a ton of comics that way. Obviously, hopefully my videos help you kind of narrow down what's out there, because there's a ton of stuff out there, dude. You can really get lost in all the single issues, but glad to hear my videos are helping out. That's kind of the goal of them, trying to help new readers get into the comic book hobby. And another thing too, make sure you check out, you get a library card, you get Hoopla, you can read a ton of stuff online, so I'd recommend that as well. But yeah, man, ton of options available if you're a teenager who doesn't have a ton of money to read comics without pirating, you know what I'm saying? Next up, we got Benny Favela. He says, what's the first comic you ever read? Mine was Frank Miller's Daredevil run. They had him collected in high school library, and he's been hooked ever since. So the first comic book that I remember reading very vividly, maybe I read some other stuff before that, but it was an issue of Batman Confidential. issue number, I have it here, issue number 27. It's a Batman Confidential was like a short, creative teams would jump on and do like short, 3-issue little arcs featuring Batman, all sorts of different creative talent attached to it. But at the time, I jumped on with number 27, and I was trying to like get the issues before it, get the issues after it. But I remember it stood out to me because it was Batman working with the Riddler, and from that moment, the Riddler was like my favorite Batman villain for the longest time. I don't know why I was interested. He's green, I like the color green. He's got like a cane and stuff like that. I don't know why I was so obsessed with the Riddler, but that always will stick out to me. Batman Confidential number 27, when Batman has to get the help from the Riddler to catch King Tut. So pretty interesting read there. So that was the first one that I can remember reading. Next up, we got BB Elder. He says, kind of along the same vein, right? He says, what book that you have, means the most to you, collected or singles? We're gonna go collected edition, right? So I've got this from way back, and then I don't need to show you, but you guys know what the Walking Dead Compendium is, right? The Walking Dead Compendium 1, that's gotta be my most sentimental collected edition, because that's like the first collected edition I remember my mom getting me. It kind of started me on this journey. It kind of opened my eyes like, hey, here's what indie comics are like, and then jumped on the Walking Dead series, reading all the compendiums. So that was like the first main collected edition I can remember getting. But the other one from way back in the day, dude, my grandpa got me this, the Untold Legend of the Batman. Just like a little black and white little Batman stories here. And got it from, my grandpa got it from me back in Omaha, Nebraska when I used to live there. So, of course I did my own art on the covers and everything. Wow, really cool. But the cool thing about this is it's got written by Lynn Wein, illustrated by Jim Aparo and John Byrne. So I was getting exposed to the legends of the comic book world very early on. But yeah, just a quick little black and white. I remember reading this quite often. Loving the look for Batman there with the Jim Aparo artwork. So this is another collected edition that I've always had in my collection. Always keep it close by, you know what I'm saying? So got that, and then the Walking Dead Compendium. Gotta be my most, collected edition that means the most to me. Couple more here. It's Keith Comics. He says, as a big Superman fan, this has probably been the most prominent year of the character in my life, and I love it. Dude, I'm with you, man. Superman on top, best superhero of all time. Quickly becoming a favorite of mine, more so than Batman probably. Batman for the nostalgic reasons, but everything Superman stands for. He's got the best DC stories. Some of them are Superman stories, right? So I've been loving Superman. He's in all forms of media except for video games for the most part. We got really great TV show with my adventures with Superman. I think that's what it's called. We got the movie coming out. The comics are on top. The comics are so sick. So yeah, man, it's a great time to be a Superman fan. Superman on top, dude. I'm here for it. Thanks for the comment. It's Keith. Last comment here, guys, and get you out of here. Joseph Sandler 23 says, or 29, he says, bro, I don't have a comic book store in my city and it's pissing me off. So that sucks, dude. Hate to hear that. Back in the day, I didn't have a comic book store either. I used Midtown Comics online. Definitely check them out. You can do a pull list through them, and that's kind of how I had a local comic book store, but it's Midtown Comics. They ship them out to you. I think I would get them on like Friday instead of Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, through the mail. So definitely check out Midtown Comics if you don't have a comic book store. Hate to hear it, dude. And also, that other advice applies, get your library card, get Hoopla, get Global Comics, get some DC Universe Infinite. You can still be reading comic books even if you don't have a local comic book store. But yeah, dude, that's what we got. 10 comments, questions, and concerns from you guys, the audience. If you got any more, leave them in the comments. We'll get to them in June. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics.